So this is Academic Search Complete. I would expect most of you to be somewhat familiar with this database since it is frequently used by instructors in FICWIS classes and freshman English classes in general. It is a wide net database. What I mean by that is that Academic Search Complete discusses every single conceivable topic, even indexes some other databases to get some of its results. Some material you'll find in Academic Search Complete would also appear in places like PubMed or ScienceDirect. It pulls from a lot of publishers, even though EBSCO is technically the person who owns all the content in this database. It seems to index and reference a lot of other databases as well. It also defaults to advanced search. This is what I got just by clicking on the EBSCO host sort of field, so that's cool. And yeah, as always, I really recommend using advanced search for EBSCO. Um, However, there's some other stuff you may want to do as well because EBSCO doesn't necessarily default to scholarly text. I really recommend clicking scholarly, peer-reviewed, and full text before you begin your search to prevent false positives. Um, Academic Search Complete also has the somewhat ignominious problem of giving you access to a lot of non-academic content if you leave it with its default filters on. So you'll get like news clips from like New York One next to scholarly articles, and that's not necessarily what you want when you're trying to write a paper for a scientific audience for writing in the sciences class. So I'm going to do that last 10 years trip. I'm going to double click English to make sure I'm only looking for entries I can read because I'm a monolingual fool. And yeah, I am not going to make any additional limiters before I begin my search. So for this particular search, let's do. All right. And see what we get. All right, cool. That is a lot. It's a lot. So one of the neat things, as you guys saw, is that we can actually filter by sort of like known search terms and let the autocomplete do its thing. So I'm actually going to flip back to that, refine this search, and knock it down. Because as you saw before, I had almost 14,000 sources. Here I've got 14. So this is a considerably easier body of work to navigate. Um, One thing I will say, while this database can be really annoying to use because it turns up such a wide array of content, it does not tend to turn up false positives when you limit it to full text articles. So here, even though this gray screen is blank, keen-eyed viewers will notice that my little trusty Firefox downloader up here actually did acknowledge the download of content, and boom, as you can see, I got the exact article that I just clicked on popping up in my little PDF browser here. So you will rarely receive a hit for an article that you can't use when using Academic Search Complete. All that said, I really don't recommend starting off your search there, mostly because it just doesn't have that scientific focus. It is a great way to find just general interest articles about a wide array of topics. If you're ever doing research for a humanities class, I think it's an excellent place to start. But I would really recommend using a scientific focused database for the early phases of research in this class. And then once you have a more specific set of search terms in mind, Academic Search Complete can be a great way to fill in a gap in your research paper or find a hard to find article because of just how wide a net it casts. Alright, this is the last video I plan to make on this topic, but if you do have any questions about locating sources, I'd be happy to field those questions on Zoom. Again, the tricks for all these databases are kind of the same. Limit to full text. Check to make sure you can access the source before you plan to use it in your paper. Uh, Modulate your search terms. limit your date ranges so you don't end up with something that's extremely old about a topic that has like current or developing discourse around it. And yeah, just, keep calm. In the event that you don't find any hits for something, try messing with your search terms before you change the entire tenor and tone of your paper. All right, this is Professor Grove signing off.